All right, we're going to go ahead and get started this morning. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody who came out to our webinar today. My name is Tara Moyers. I am our Business Development Manager at Integrity EPC. But today we are going to be talking about how to integrating survey and mapping into pipeline integrity engineering, procurement, and construction. And just a little overview, Integrity EPC, we just recently launched our mapping and survey division, but we're integrating it into our other 4 divisions we previously had. So the 4 divisions that we have had in the past, we have pipeline integrity compliance, and that deals everything from PHMSA compliance to we can help with IMPs, HCAs, anything when it related to integrity or compliance for pipeline. We're integrating our land survey and mapping with our data and GIS program. We also can offer new construction inspection and any local call-out NDE work. And finally, we have a mechanical integrity program, which we can do everything from starting up the MI program from procedures to baseline, and we can even handle your data as well. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our 2 presenters today. First, we have Nick Casina. He is our Director of Projects in Upstream and Midstream. He is a geologist by education, but he has worked across the country in the energy sector supporting oil and gas and mining operations. With over 10 years of project management experience in survey, environmental, permitting, and engineering, Nick has successfully helped clients meet their goals with innovative solutions and unmatched customer service. Then our second presenter today will also be George Preen. He is our actually Director of Data Integration. George has developed a successful career in the energy sector, servicing the oil and gas industry for over 13 years. His experience in various roles has given him experience in survey project management, multi-team management, GIS data management, and database administration. Mr. Preen has managed large multi-discipline teams with a high contribution to net revenue from multi-million-dollar consulting companies. All right, now I'm going to hand this over to Nick and George.
Good morning, Tara and Nick. How are you guys?
Doing great today. How are you, George?
I'm good. Do we have Nick?
There we go.
Nick is.
You guys hear me all right?
Hey, buddy.
All righty. Well,
hey, I just wanted to thank Tara and Nick, I just wanted to say welcome aboard. Obviously loved working with you in the past, and I'm looking forward to working with you here in the future as well.
For sure.
Well, let's get started. Let's dive into what we're talking about today.
Agreed.
So just a quick overview for the audience and what we want to talk about today, and is the why and the need and what's driving the industry and how we got here as a company. Since I came on in April of 2019, one of my visions and things I talked to Corey about was helping us not only, drive in technology and innovation, but what were we going to do as a company to kind of set us apart from everybody else, and what we were going to do different, and how we were going to scale that, and what competing technologies and software we were going to use to do things better. So obviously cost is a big factor, and the need for us was our current clients asking us and pushing us into a direction that we haven't been able to do before until now. And that is really just launching out a land survey and mobile applications to help do our jobs better, not only for just straight like data acquisition and data collection in the field for different things required for DOT compliance work or mechanical integrity work, like classification and HCA analysis, was like, what else is going to help us or hinder us from not getting our clients their information or getting a project? And so one of the things that was hindering us was our clients would ask us to do some sort of a survey or line locate on a small job that might be in Texas or another state or something like that. And one of the things that hindered us from not getting that project was the inability to scale, like a a crew to go down and actually do a survey. And so what ended up happening was we would have to like outsource that or figure out how to do that, and it would become more costly to our clients. And so the need became, how would we do this and how would we do it better? And how could we streamline this for our clients? Because we are not there, right? We don't have an office there in their location. So how could we do this remotely, but have a really good, affordable solution for them? And so the need for looking into embedding out streamline and automation of processes and workflow was there. And so we looked toward technology and innovation. We came up with our own data collection and data acquisition mobile application, which we'll get here in just a second. And then we talked about how we were going to do this. Like once we got there, that's great, but how? You know, what were we going to use that was going to set us apart and that was going to be efficient for and costly, more costly for our clients? And so we started talking about real-time and cloud processing, and was it out there, and what kind of workflows we were going to use. Was it going to be embedded into a web platform, and how would we display and collaborate that data to our clients? What softwares were we going to use, and that kind of thing. So, excuse me. What led us into that rabbit hole was vetting out. We got with our survey vendor. We started talking about GIS workflows. We started talking about data collection. What equipment were we going to use? What was going to set us apart? We were already launching quick start programs for our clients for asset management and web portal design and implementation, gathering survey data, writing standards for our clients. Now, how are we going to put all this together? And so we came up with these really cool processes, really cool technologies, and started putting them together. We started putting our minds together and started brainstorming on like what was going to be the best for us and our clients. And out of that became one of our mobile applications, which we call Bluehawk. Bluehawk was developed by one of our directors here inside of Integrity EPC, and mainly used for mechanical and DOT compliance work. It allows us to basically do our online reports in the field real time. That gives us more of a streamlined approach where our inspectors and our field crews and people outside that are actually doing the inspection work can give us real-time reporting in the field. We can gather GPS locations. We can give our clients sub-meter accuracy. We can do dispatching. We can have an admin portal for them. We can do client branding, all on an Android platform, an iOS, or a mobile platform. We can link that to additional information and then push that out, put that into our asset managers or our clients' asset managers, where all their departments now can see this information and where this housed all this information. So it's in one central location. Clients are getting what they need. They're getting an affordable and a quick rollout of a product that's something that they can use right now today. So go check us out at www.globebluehawk.com for more information. So this is another one of those pieces where we're talking about how technology is helping us as a company. And with that, Nick, I just want to welcome you aboard again and just have you start talking about some of our other services that we're going to roll out, in addition to our software, our technology, and the things that we're going to do. What are we going to do different, and what are the services we're going to provide?
Yeah, thanks, George. So really what I want to touch on is, let you know that we are focused in oil and gas, but we're not limited to oil and gas. So, George and I both come from a background in oil and gas, environmental, mining, et cetera. So all the different energy sectors there. What we've really focused on, just to kind of get this off the ground and, to promote within our existing service lines, are the typical upstream and midstream service offerings. So to start with the upstream side, everything that goes into the planning, engineering design to get a well pad and said wells permitted with the regulating agencies. So, we can provide that desktop location analysis. So really looking at it a little bit differently and and planning it out on the front end, so you're not going to the field multiple times. And then once we're out there in the field, we can actually gather this data, and like George was alluding to, basically we're able to process that data cloud-based, eliminating more of that manual side where you've got a tech sitting down for an hour or two processing this data out. We can eliminate that step, still have the QA/QC process there, and be able to serve this data back out in a quicker manner, making us more efficient and more cost effective. So really anything to do with that upstream side, facility staking, any of the topo survey, really just getting those oil and gas locations permitted and back through for our clients quickly. So along with that, obviously everything is compiled into Jira's database, easier to serve up to our clients. We can customize and build web portals for all of your upstream oil and gas assets, so you can actually see those. We can collaborate, moving stuff around, or making any changes. And like George was alluding to, the mobile side of that bit. So, George, do you want to move on to the midstream side? So same thing goes along with the midstream. Offering those core services, really looking at the front end planning, and then getting into all of the preliminary survey that's needed for the engineering design of said line, get into the construction staking, the as-built, after-built, just basically being able to serve this data that we collect back to you in the manner that you can use it efficiently, effectively, and at a solid price. So we do use both Blue Sky products and our own, custom formats. We obviously customize exhibits, any of those documents that you need to whatever specification that you're looking for. And same thing goes in, it's hand in hand with the, same thing with the upstream side, is being able to basically use that data, serve it to you. So the GIS web portals, just being able to get that data back to you. If you have any questions on any of these.
Well, and Nick, I want to just piggyback on a key thing that you highlighted is the customizable exhibits that we're producing and offering right now. We've embedded some of its technology by using FME, software solutions where we can already enhance like our Blue Sky, alignment sheet generation, which is fairly quickly. But we can also implement FME solutions to automate that a little bit further. So that brings a huge discount to our clients.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the big thing. I mean, in my experience, clients always have certain, items that are important to them. So being able to be nimble and customized to our clients' needs, I think really helps set us apart, instead of just saying, well, this is the way we do it, and this is the way it's always been done. Really looking at innovative ways to get our clients something at a solid price. So
exactly.
So yeah, what I was saying there though, if anyone on the webinar has any questions about services or even certain projects, definitely give us a call and we can help create some innovative solutions. So. Lastly, with the service offerings, we do not have a regulatory department per se, but we are oil and gas professionals that can help, with all of your permitting needs. So if you've got, a bunch of flow lines you need mapped out, we can help actually, submit those Form 44s. This slide is tailored more toward Colorado, but we do have full experience with New Mexico, Texas, Wyoming, Utah, and even BLM permitting side of things. So if any of those needs arise, we can definitely help. And then, of course, all the exhibits that go along with whatever different scenario you might be in for getting some of this, the permitting done.
And Nick, I think it's a really good point. we're offering and helping out and adding support for our clients. We typically will have full access for our clients if that's something that our audience is looking into. We can put all those exhibits together for you. We can push out your Form 44s for you if you have that need. And that's one of the things we're doing currently for some of our customers. And we're offering the additional pieces that go with that, the integrity plans and the additional support that goes along with that. Well, real quick, I just wanted to talk about one of the other ways that we're innovating. We've talked a little bit about, data acquisition, data collection. We've talked about a little bit about how we're innovating our exhibits and what softwares we're using and that kind of thing. I wanted to just quickly highlight one of the web portals that we're using in helping our customers, find ways to be more efficient in their survey data collection pieces. But this also can happen for upstream and in different phases for your needs. But one of the things that we're doing right now is, and it's part of our quick start programs, is like launching what is called Orbital. And Orbital is a web platform. It's made by Blue Sky. It's very easy to roll out of the box. It comes with a lot of features. And what we're doing right now is using it to not only collaborate and map survey project data, because I can quickly, the ability to use a web portal straight from the field gives us access to data in near real time. So what we can do is, now that we have a good streamlined process for GIS, and now that the data collectors are able to, export geodatabases and GIS data efficiently, we can now take that information and push that into our web portal. We can get data analytics. So if you've got field crews, or we've got our people out in the field and we want to see what they're doing, we want to see what they're collecting, we want to see if their data is good before it even hits our client portal. We can check all that analytics and see exactly what's going on and where. There's collaboration, and this is fully customizable for what our clients are looking for. And mostly what our clients are looking for is like, where's my project at? What's the status? What % complete am I at? And then, report that up to, upper management or their other departments. And hey, here you go, guys, this is where we're at. The benefit for us internally is now we can have an effective tool that's, validating our survey data coming out of the field. And now, because we can validate that survey data from the field or even in the office, we have a better effective rate of completing or hitting our deliverables on time without error. So some of our clients require 100% full documentation without any errors per their standard. That's just not even a PHMSA standard. That was just their standard. So for us, it's really, really important that we make sure that our validation tools and our QA tools are matching up to pipe tallies and inspector data that's coming out of the field. And so we've implemented this web portal, which we can import survey files from the field, or we can use from the office or anywhere we have a web access. And what's really cool about this, it's also compatible with APIs and FME, so we can customize this certain, asset managers. So if your client or our client has a specific asset manager in mind, or they have like a web service, we can actually export this data. We can map using FME to certain asset managers, or we can use APIs to integrate with other softwares. The other cool advantage here is like this also will integrate with our Bluehawk application. We can import other softwares like and other validation tools like Dash Online. Those are familiar with Blue Sky products. And then those are familiar with also other GIS softwares like ArcGIS. We can integrate a lot of web mapping services too as well. There we go. That's some of our web portal design. Now I'm going to get us back to Nick and have him talk about some of our other technology.
Yeah, thanks, George. So the the big new shiny item that's out there is actually more on the aerial survey side. So, you know, there's two different methods here, you know, utilizing a drone and also utilizing fixed wing aircraft with, you know, LiDAR sensors connected to those. So we've actually gone and proven out these processes. And, you know, the big thing with the aerial survey is that you're collecting more data than you need at the same price and in the same time frame as you would conventionally. So conventionally, if you're running a 50-foot swath of topo and collecting those ground shots, you would basically get, you know, 4 points within a 50-foot grid. Utilizing aerial survey, you can actually collect up to 2,500 points within that same 50-foot swath. And you're getting more data, more accurate data that you can use for that front-end planning. So for us, we can utilize both UAV or fixed-wing aircraft, depending on the size of the project. So with a UAV, that would be more like you have a one-off, you know, 1 mile or less of line that you want to get surveyed, that corridor, or, you know, a well pad, a single well pad, or maybe one or two within a section. So the aerial or the fixed wing, you would more look at on a large scale project. So, you know, you're running 10 to 20 miles of pipeline and you want to collect that, that corridor plus a little bit more data so that you can make those reroutes efficiently and quickly, or maybe townships worth of data. I've actually worked on projects up to, you know, 309 square miles. So that's about 9 townships worth of data collected. And that's, you know, more looking at the overall planning of trying to place out all of your locations or, you know, all of your pipeline, flow line, infrastructure on the front end. So George, if you would head to the next slide. So really the big thing that I want to highlight is just the difference between the conventional and the aerial survey methods. So conventional survey will never go away. There will still be needs, you know, highly populated areas, residential, you know, certain restrictions for, you know, pertaining to the laws of where you can and can't fly a UAV. But if you have a project that's in an area and, you know, this fits, one of the big things that I like to highlight is like on the upstream side, the old way of doing things was really like the operator would go out, get an SUA, and then give that to the surveyor, say, hey, go stake this. So the surveyor goes out and stakes it, brings the data back in, start working the plan, really figuring out how this pad's all going to fit together and figure out that something's not going to work. So, you know, maybe there was a ditch that you couldn't see on Google Earth. Maybe there's new power lines that went in, new pipeline, et cetera. So then the operator sends the crew back out to the field. Go back out, you make a plan, you collect more data, bring it back, something else doesn't work, you go back out to the field. And that's where you start really incurring that cost. So by collecting the data and more data than you need on the front end, you can actually go out to the field once, then bring that in, do your planning, and be able to move that project area as needed. So it's a really good method to go out and collect this aerial survey. When I say collect more data, really like if an operator were to give us a pipeline right away, you know, proposed pipeline right away, a proposed pad location, we would then throw some sort of buffer on that would make sense, you know, and collect all of the topo, up-to-date aerial imagery that we can actually extract the features from because it's survey grade accurate data. So we can actually make all those measurements to those features, have all the topo, make good decisions on the front end before acquiring that SUA or, you know, landowner agreement and go from there. So that's really kind of the concept of using the aerial survey versus the conventional.
Nice. That was awesome, Nick. Before we get ready to take some questions, I wanted to just talk a little bit about our project management and reporting tools. You can see this lovely little picture here. We can provide these client dashboards is what we call them, where you can get a lot of information This is fully customizable. You can get access to your budget, basically get an overview of your project health, and this can be updated, per your frequency every week, whatever you want. And then the reporting out of this, we give you access to this site. You have visibility into your dashboard. You can collaborate that, send reports to whomever you want, your departments, again, upper management, whatever you want to do there. Review your project completion, percent complete, look at your scheduling. Again, this is fully customizable and based on what your needs. But this is something that you would come to expect, from our project management and like reporting tools when working with IEPC. And just wanted to say thank you guys for listening again to Nick and I talk about some of the new stuff that we're rolling out, and we look forward to hearing from you here in the near future. Give us a shout if you want to hear about some of our 2020 promotional pricing.
Thanks, Nick and George. We're going to open up for a few minutes of questions. I'm going to have George unmute everybody. So once you hear that you're unmuted, feel free to reach out if you have a question, and Nick or George will answer that for you. Well, I guess here I'll start off. George, I have a question for you.
Hold on a second. I don't know. This is working. I think I'm getting there. Okay. I think everybody's unmuted right now. Is there any questions out there that anybody has?
Hi, Nick. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Perfect. Just a quick question on the data management side. If you could maybe give us a little bit more color on what you can do in terms of your data services for the ILI after the run is complete, and in terms of massaging the data and getting information out of it. If you can tell us a bit more about your team and what your capabilities are, that'd be great.
Yeah, George, do you want to hit that one?
I had a hard time hearing that question, but I think the question was regarding our ILI data analysis tools. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, we actually have some pretty cool ILI data analysis tools. We can do data alignment. We do that in ArcGIS with some of our automated tools. We can do the ILI automation or analysis from your vendor to do that data alignment. We also can kick out, half-life spreadsheets, dig schedules that can align to your your dig and inspection schedule, and help you basically do that analysis on like your entire system or individual pipes, and that kind of thing. So yeah, give us, if you need some more information, we do have an entire presentation just on ILI data analysis. I can get myself and our DOT engineer to give you a shout, and we can talk more specifics on that. But that's kind of what we do in a nutshell.
That would be great. We'll be interested in maybe doing a session with you guys. Maybe perhaps not next week, but the week after. If you have some time, we'd love to schedule a session.
Okay.
I think
for sure.
Sorry, have you got my email, or I can reach out separately as well?
Yeah, Tara, can you get?
Yeah, my name is Maninder.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Maninder.
Yeah, we should have your. Yep, we have your email. So I'll shoot you an email after this webinar, and we can get a date set.
Sounds great, guys. Sorry I have to jump off, but great session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Does anybody else have any other questions for George or Nick? Yes, I got one last question for George. We can wrap up on this since we're about at time. George, what challenges do you foresee with the addition of the new data collection equipment and software methods?
Oh, wow, that's a great question, Tara. So right now, what we're seeing is, and since we use GIS workflows, quite a bit. We're seeing such a lot of software development in this area. And because of that, when we use Esri products, and because of that, we are having some compatibility issues with some of our Trimble software, and GIS software is not quite up to speed yet. We're currently using ArcGIS Pro, and then, you know, some of the Trimble softwares and equipment's, you know, still on like ArcMap and that kind of thing. So some of the things that we're, you know, challenges that we're facing right now is just like the compatibility issues with and between the softwares. And so we're going back and forth using different softwares. But the really cool thing here now is like we're able to enhance, you know, our efficiencies by, you know, using the auto processing, using like Trimble position software to get even more accuracy from the data being collected out of field. And so we're gaining efficiencies, even though we're seeing like emerging technologies and softwares and software development and that kind of thing. We're also on the front end of leading that charge too. So as things are progressing, we're able to unfold and rapidly, you know, align that information to our workflows and our processes and that kind of thing. So I think the big challenge is just now just keeping up with it. The data collector that we're using came out a year ago. There's still some enhancements going on there. The future of that data collector is really, really cool. I'm hearing some great stuff coming out of our vendor. This one data collector is gonna give us accuracies of up to sub-centimeter in the future with all the GIS functionality. So if you're looking for that mid-grade, you know, data collector where we're just collecting GIS data, and we have a really good process and workflow for that, then this is the answer. This is the key. This is how we gain efficiencies and win. And then we also have that higher accuracy workflow where we need survey grade data for like boundary surveys and stuff like that. We can still do that. Use the same softwares here that we're using out in the field and gain that efficiency in that streamline.
Awesome, George. Thank you. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up today just because we're over time already. George, if you can click to the next slide for me. If you have any questions or you'd like to schedule a time to talk with us or one of our team members, you can reach out to myself, Tara Moyers. I'm the Business Development Manager, and we can set that up for you. We can do a one-on-one session and just see how we can help you meet your needs. Well, I just want to once again thank George and Nick for all the knowledge on this topic, and yeah, we hope to hear from everybody.
Thanks, Tara. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you guys. Enjoy the rest
Thanks,
of your
everybody.
day.
Have a good one.
All right. See ya.